the top, put a bit of breast. Bit of that. Bit of that. Greetings and welcome to Family Kitchen with Mark. So today I'm going to be doing a roast chicken. I'm filming outside because in New Zealand we've just got to the end of lockdown, or we have in Wellington anyway, and everybody want to be outside now because we've been cooped up inside for the last few weeks. So consequently I'll do my intro outside, make the most of this lovely weather. Now today's video is going to be about roasting. Some people get really nervous about roasting a chicken or a piece of meat for the family, but I'm going to teach you a few techniques in how to make that job as easy as possible. So everything I'm going to show you today is cooked in 1 hour and 20 minutes. So from cooking to serve in 1 hour and 20. So I'm going to do a roast chicken that I'm going to baste with a herb and caper butter. I'm going to serve it with roasted pumpkin, some potatoes, some broccoli. We've got some spiced and sweet and sour red cabbage. And then we've got a nice demi-glace, which is like a fancy word for a chef's meat sauce base that we're going to use to make our delicious gravy with some of the meat juices. Anyway, let's get cooking. Let's get cooking. Let's get cooking. We are here, and this is the view we've got, which people familiar with my channel would have seen this view many times. But for those that are new to the channel, I live in an area called Paparangi, and we moved to this house about a year ago. And Paparangi is in the region of Wellington, which is in the south of New Zealand's North Island. So welcome, let's get cooking. We will start off proceedings by taking two 1 kilo sized chickens. I'm going to cut lemon in half, onion in half, and we're going to use those to put inside the chickens. Now, very important to season the inside as well as the outside of the chicken. So a lot of people make the mistake of not seasoning the inside. So before I put the onion and the lemon inside, I'm going to season that chicken. Now I'm going to place a beautiful melted caper and herb and lemon butter over the top of the chickens, and that's going to add a lot of flavour, and it's also going to baste that meat as well, keep it nice and flavoursome. Now all recipes will be in the description. The recipe today is for 6 portions, so for 6 adults. Now everything's going to be cooked and ready in 1 hour and 20 minutes. The chicken will be cooked in about 60 to 70 minutes, but before I serve, you should always rest roasted meat, and that's going to hold in the juices. Now that leftover butter from the chicken we're using for our carrots and potatoes that we're going to roast along with the chicken, and that's going to take on a lot of flavour. My goodness, as that chicken roasts and you baste the chicken in the juices, those caramelised juices are going to flavour the potatoes and the carrots very nicely indeed. Yeah. Now preheat the oven to 200 degrees, and we're going to roast that chicken on the lower shelf of the oven. Now pumpkin, I'm going to flavour this with paprika, and we're going to roast it with onions and olive oil. Now when I roast, I always roast everything on top of greaseproof paper, because this allows to hold the flavour in whatever you're roasting. Now don't chop the onions too small, otherwise they're going to burn. And place that on top of the greaseproof paper on a roasting tray, and I'm going to roast those on the upper shelf, and I'm going to roast the pumpkin for about 40 minutes. You can cut it smaller and it will cook faster, or you can have large wedges and just cook for more time. Now the red cabbage we're going to flavour with vinegar and sugar, and we're going to put some lemon zest in that cabbage as well. Now the cabbage is going to take between 20 and 30 minutes on a high heat. Now I pop a little bit of butter, but the butter is optional. Butter just adds more flavour. Now as the cabbage is cooking, now just cook it the whole time on a high heat. If you cook it on a low heat, that's going to create too much moisture, and what we want to do is caramelise flavours. Now, very important when you're roasting meat to baste the meat, so pour the hot juices over the top of the meat. Now, once you complete the pumpkin is cooked. Now, that took 40 minutes at 200 degrees. Now, cut the broccoli into small florets, and I'm going to blanch them in boiling salted water for 2 to 3 minutes. Now, cabbage, when it's tender, is cooked, so just have a taste. You can always add more vinegar if you want it more sour, more sugar if you want it sweeter. Now, second basting of the chicken, pouring those juices over the top of the chicken. Now, demi-glace, which is a fancy word for a chef's meat-based sauce. We're going to flavour it with garlic and mustard. Now, after 1 hour and 10 minutes at 200 degrees, 1 kilo size chickens are cooked. Now, you could probe the thermometer and see if the chickens are cooked when they record 75 degrees, or you could have a look at the juices, and if they run clear, then the chicken's cooked. Now, you must rest meat. Rest meat means that the juices are going to stay inside the meat, and that's going to make it more succulent and tender. So these chickens were rested for 10 minutes. So I actually grew up on roast meals every Sunday. That used to be a real English thing. Nowadays, people get a bit scared, I think, of our roast dinners, thinking it takes too long. Well, everything prepared today was cooked in 1 hour and 20 minutes. And that's us at Family Kitchen with Mark. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, press the old subscribe button, and that means that any future videos that come up on the channel, you'll be alerted if you also flick that notification bell. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.